Senator from New York.
I rise today to join my colleagues in support of the Build Back Better Plan budget resolution, which recognizes that care infrastructure is critical infrastructure. We know that our economy has not been working for working families. Then we saw a pandemic make a precarious situation even worse for families across the entire country. Our economy cannot fully recover and will not survive another pandemic or health emergency if people can't keep their jobs or get back to work. That won't happen until we start providing the economic support that we've actually needed for decades. Support like childcare, universal pre-K, and universal paid leave. Paid leave is what allows people to keep their jobs when they get sick. It allows parents to stay home with children who are ill or forced to learn remotely. It lets hardworking people care for their aging parents. And right now, far too many people don't have access to it. More than 8 in 10 workers lack access to paid leave. And they're often left to make the very impossible choices of, do I care for my loved one? Do I stay by the bedside of my mother as she's dying? Or do I earn a paycheck and feed my children? Those are choices that we shouldn't be forcing the American workforce to have to make every single day. So this budget reconciliation will help end the United States' reign of being the only industrialized country in the world that doesn't have access to paid family and medical leave for all workers. I've been fighting alongside Congresswoman Rosa DeLauro for years to pass the bill. Our bill is called the Family Act, the model for the Build Back Better Plan's paid leave program, which would provide nearly every worker with up to 12 weeks of paid leave. It will provide stability to workers, to families, to companies, and to our U.S. economy. And now this is the moment that we can actually make it happen. This budget also recognizes the essential nature of the child care industry. Nearly 27 million people rely on child care just so they can go to work and feed their children. First, child care is not readily available. Child care deserts and shortages across the country leave families without local options. Before the pandemic in New York, there was 1 slot for every 4 children that wanted access to affordable, high-quality daycare. After the pandemic, there was 1 slot for every 8 children that wanted access to affordable, quality daycare. In New York, a year of child care is often more expensive than a year of in-state college tuition. Those problems were exacerbated by the pandemic. Staffing at child care centers, which was already a problem pre-pandemic, is now down 15%. This budget will help us make the critical investments that are so long overdue. Child care investments that ensure families have access to high-quality care that costs low and middle-income families no more than 7% of their income. It also recognizes the nature of child care as essential work. Child care providers are our essential workers, and they deserve a long overdue raise. This investment is critical to our economic recovery and will help working parents get back to the office, get back to their jobs, and know that their children are safe and having access to that critical early childhood education. Every parent in America knows that if their child has the chance from 0 to 5 to be in early childhood education, every dollar you put into early childhood education results in over $11 of benefit to society for that individual child over their lifetime. It is such an important investment. The Build Back Better plan invests in universal pre-K. It will not only help more parents of young children return to work, but it also ensures that those children get that early access to early childhood education, that high-quality learning to give them access to understanding their numbers, their letters, early reading, early math. That is essential for them being able to thrive. These forms of care infrastructure are what make the difference between a family surviving or a family thriving. And that's what this country needs to actually recover from this global pandemic. These investments are just as important as our investments in roads and bridges and sewers and clean water and clean air and high-speed rail and rural broadband. All of that matters. And together, that's how we recover from this economy. This is the moment to make this once-in-a-generation investment in the future of our families, the future of our middle class, the future of our economy. And this is something that we can do together. So I ask all my colleagues to join us in getting the Build Back Better plan over the finish line. It's about our families, it's about our economy, and most importantly, it is about our future. I yield the floor.